The Last of Us Season 2 show is not looking so good so far. Hey guys, it's your boy Alex Future here, back with another video, and today we're going to be discussing Episode 1 and Episode 2 of the new Last of Us season, right? You guys don't know, the Last of Us game series is one of my favorite series of all time. I got Part 2 in my top 3 games of all time, right below Cyberpunk 2077, but still, I love The Last of Us Part 2, so I'm very curious to see how Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin is going to adapt this part of the series.
What the fuck is this?
We start off with the first scene with Abby and the crew burying the remains of the Fireflies after Joel just straight up just blasted them, right? And I'm a little confused here because Abby and the crew, they look like full-grown adults. Like, that makes no sense. Like, how am I supposed to tell the difference between the 5-year time skip, the Abby from before and Abby after? Like, you can't really notice the difference. Like, they're just full-on grown adults, which makes no sense to me. And to be frank, I really don't think they should have started out with this scene. I really feel as though they should have started out with Abby's flashback, with her finding her father and the zebra scene. The reason why I say this is because not only would the show-only audience understand her background and how she was before her father was killed, but most importantly, we would sympathize with her far easily than the game's counterpart, because we all know how convoluted it was to play Abby after she killed Jesse, killed Joel, and nearly killed Tommy. But hopefully, they show that flashback before that one big scene that's coming up. Also, another thing I noticed is that Owen promised Abby that they would find and kill Joel. But if you can read the body language, you can tell Owen said it just to ease Abby's attitude, in hopes of her eventually cooling off and forgetting and moving on from Joel. Alright, so we got these two scenes with Joel, one with Dina and one with Maria. And to be honest, I really like how Joel is basically Bob the Builder of Jackson, right? He's teaching Dina how to work on a breaker, and he has these construction plans telling Maria, hey, listen, we're not going to be able to build all these buildings by summer, right? I really enjoy that side of Joel. You get to kind of see that in the game where he has this room upstairs where he makes these wood artifacts, right? And I'm pretty sure in the lore, right, in part 1, it's confirmed that he's basically an electrician or in construction or something in the trades of some sort, right? So I really do enjoy that bit. However, what I don't like about the Dina scene is the fact that it's revealed that Joel goes to therapy. Like, what? In-game Joel would never go to therapy. He would never go to someone to talk about his problems except Tommy. Like, if the show showed Joel talking to Tommy about his situation with Ellie, right, then yeah, I would be fine with that, right? But then we get to the actual therapy scene, right? And apparently Joel, he killed the therapist's wife, whatever. I mean, the therapist's husband, right? Whatever. And he cries in that scene, and it's just like, I don't feel any sympathy whatsoever, because it's episode 1. There's little to no build up whatsoever. So I really didn't feel anything for Joel when he cried in that scene, right? And in-game Joel, he would never be crying like that at all. Okay, now let's talk about Bella Ramsey's performance as Ellie.
Wait, you know I'm the one we should be least worried about when it comes to infected.
Hey, no. You swore. We don't talk about that.
I got bit on my arm.
Ellie, we don't talk about that.
I got bit, everybody!
Hey.
I got bit!
Hey!
I'm immune!
I'm gonna be honest, guys. I did not like Bella Ramsey's performance as Ellie in season 1, and as for season 2, I still do not like her at all whatsoever. Like, come on, guys. Like, from part 1 to part 2, there is an obvious shift in Ellie's demeanor, and I just don't sense that at all from Bella Ramsey's performance. Like, come on, guys. And let's not even talk about the look. Like, the look. You mean to tell me that Callie Spaney was auditioning for Ellie, and Neil Druckmann and Craig Mazin, they was like, you know what? Nah. Even Abby's actor looks more like Ellie than Ellie herself. Like, how does that make any sense? How does that make any sense at all? Like, Bella Ramsey's performance as Ellie, like, it's unbelievable. Like, there's no way, there's no look. She looks the same. There is no change in appearance or demeanor whatsoever. She's still immature. While part 2 Ellie is a little bit more introspective, more conserved. Overall, a whole entire different character, more mature. And I just don't sense that whatsoever from Bella Ramsey's performance. Maybe she might do something in the future episodes, but as far as I see right now in episode 1, I do not see any change whatsoever. Like, it's crazy to me how Isabella and Young are more like Dina and Jesse than Ellie herself. Like, it's crazy to me. It's unbelievable. Mr. Future, what would you rate episode 1 of season 2? Well, to be honest, I'm gonna have to rate episode 1 a 6 out of 10. Listen. I'm not saying it's mid. I'm not saying it's trash like some other people, but we're just simply off to a somewhat decent start, right? For a first episode of a new season, I'm expecting a strong start. You know the saying, you end how you start, and we're kind of starting a bit iffy, right? I really hope that Craig Mazin and Neil Druckmann, I really hope they kind of stick to the source material a little bit, right? I really hope they rearrange some stuff between, you know, Ellie and Abby's journey, right? But as far as the source material, I really hope they stick to it, if not add a little bit more. But I don't want to see anything where they completely change a scene like episode 3 of season 1. Like, we're not even going to get into that, but episode 1, I'm going to have to give it a 6 out of 10.
And now we have episode 2. To be honest, guys, I'm really excited for this episode. I can't wait to see. Okay, so our first scene starts with Abby in the hallway, right? And if you guys are show only, I don't know what you guys are doing here. This is kind of mostly for gamers only. But if you guys feel inclined to join this channel, please like and subscribe. Then go ahead and watch me, right? So anyway, we start our first scene with Abby in the hallway. And if you guys don't know, we get these kind of scenes in the game, right? The only difference is that we don't have another Abby talking to herself, right? So I'm very curious to see if we're gonna see other hallway scenes like this. Possibly a different version of Abby might show up with Abby in the hallway, who knows? But I'm very curious to see what other hallway scenes they might add or change within the story. And to be honest, I really feel from a story sense, they should have had this scene in the beginning of episode 1 and transition it to the burying scene, which really would have complemented the sequence altogether. But as for the lake house scene, I really have nothing to complain about it. Although I wish they could have added some discourse between Abby and Owen, because as far as from the show, Owen and the crew is playing circles around Abby, playing into her psyche. So I really wish they could have added some discourse so we could transition into Abby possibly abandoning the crew and then just going out to find Joel on her own, which would have went 1-1 with the game. So apparently stalkers aren't really a thing in the show universe. As we transition to the Jesse and Ellie scene, they're talking about stalkers like they never seen a stalker before in their life. And I know we got this scene in episode 1, but this basically confirms that stalkers aren't really a thing in the show universe, which makes no sense because they know bloaters, they know clickers, they know the regulars, but apparently they have never, nobody has ever seen what happens in between a regular infected and a clicker. Apparently so. But then we move on to the Tommy scene, and I really like this scene because it really makes you feel like Jackson is a community, which the show, the game doesn't really do. Also, my gamers out there might feel some kind of way about Dina ended up switching in Tommy's shoes, going out with Joel, but I really don't mind this because of this scene that's going to come up. And before we get into the amazing Horde Jackson sequence, I just also find it amazing how none of you are subscribed to the Alex Future channel. Come on, guys. I really want to get this channel up to 500 subscribers this year. And if not, follow me on Instagram. And now back to the video. And now we have the Horde sequence. And I gotta be honest, guys. 10 times better than the game. 10 times better than the game. Craig Mazin and HBO, these guys, they could have been like, you know what? Let's give them 1-to-1 to the game. But no, they upscaled it. Instead of the Horde being a Lake House issue, it is now a Jackson issue. And Jackson as a whole must resolve this issue, which I'm so glad to see happen. The scene with Tommy, the dogs, the bloater, flamethrowers. I really love this sequence. I really love this sequence. What I don't love is what comes right after. And finally, we're at that scene. And to be honest, guys, listen. Look, listen! I am not against Joel dying.
I beg your pardon?
However, what I am against is how they did it in the game, right? Before the leaks, I expected someone close to Ellie dying, forcing her to go to Seattle. Joel follows her, right? They meet up, they reconcile. Yeah, that's basically what I thought part 2 was gonna be. But as far as the show's portrayal of Joe's death, I think it was better than the game. The game felt a little bit too abrupt, a little too sudden. However, the show, it eases you into it. You get more characterization with Abby. And I also like how Ellie comes in. She's there after they leave, after Joel. She's just left with his body. So I kind of do like that aspect of the show. But Mr. Future, what would you rate episode 2 of The Last of Us show? Well, to be honest, I would give episode 2 a 6.5 out of 10. Episode 1 was pretty decent, but this episode was honestly a good step up. Actually, I'm gonna give episode 1 a 5.5 out of 10. Right. Not mid, still not mid, but slightly decent. Episode 2, a big step up. Way big of a step up. And if you guys are wondering, my ratings are based on how well the show adapts the game. So if you don't like the game, then obviously you're not going to like the show. Furthermore, I hope for the future episodes, they don't simply just have Ellie's part or Abby's part. I hope they have both of their journeys in conjunction with one another. Anyways, at the time of this recording, episode 3 is already out. So I'm not even going to ask you guys if you guys like and comment or subscribe. I might do episode 3. I'm going to do it anyway. So anyway, so like and subscribe to the channel. Please comment. I don't even care if the comment is negative, as long as I'm getting comments and engagement. So, yeah, peace out.